Hoi! Mike Overson here, everybody. You are listening to U.S. Home Talk. We are here live every Wednesday, noon Central Standard Time.
Is
talking
that
about
the sound they make like when you start a rugby game, or what was that?
I'm not exactly sure what that was. I just tried to I like to keep it different around here.
It was organic.
Yeah, it was just
It was organic.
It's what I was feeling at the moment. You know what I mean? So, who are we again? What are we doing? Oh, yeah, this is U.S. Home Talk. What do we talk about? We talk about real estate. We talk about mortgages and anything dealing with buying a home, selling a home, buying investment properties, you name it. We talk about it. Again, we're here every Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time live, but you can also catch our podcasts at any time during the week if you go to our website, which is ushometalk.com, or anywhere that you listen to your podcasts on whatever service you got there. With me, as always, is Mr. Jason Walgrave, Remax Advantage Plus, Walgrave Real Estate Group, and also Marcus Walgrave, Hegg Realtors. And I'm trying to think of a good nickname for you, but nothing's coming to me right now. So
You gotta write it down, man.
we'll just leave it at Marcus Walgrave at Hegg Realtors out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Topic for today. What are we talking about today? This is one of those topics where you just got to tell yourself, you know what, I just got to hunker down and get this done, right? We're talking about fall home maintenance, right? We're going to talk about 10 tips that you need to do to get your home ready for the winter coming up here. And it's something that I'm sure all three of us just kind of dread. It's like, oh, here we go, a Saturday afternoon of doing all this crap. But you know what? It's got to be done. So let's just hunker down and do it. So we're going to dive into these 10 fall home maintenance tips that you should be doing here sometime in the next few weeks. Number 1, reverse your ceiling fans. Now, admittedly, I don't think I ever forwarded my ceiling fans, so therefore I probably don't need to reverse them either. But I think, Jason, aren't you pretty good about the rotational direction of your fans at home?
Very good about the rotational direction of my fan.
Okay. I will admit, I don't change the direction of them at all, Marcus.
I mean, in our bedroom, you just leave them go.
Okay. What about you, Marcus?
Mike, I know we talked about this in the summer months. We did like a home efficiency, energy efficiency, how to kind of keep the utility costs down. And I didn't say it then. I was a little initially, when you do something wrong, you're like, maybe you got the wrong information. And then most likely it's just me. But I'm pretty certain that I do switch them, but I was doing them wrong per season. So okay. So I'm going to try to make sure I do them the right way this time.
So do you know the right way? So like in the warmer months then, should you be pulling the air up off the ground, or should you be pushing the air down from the ceiling?
Well, I'm not going to comment on it and confuse the listeners because, like I said, I'm quite certain that I was doing it the wrong way.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, it would make sense to me that in the warmer months when you have, right, your furnace going, you got the heat on, right, you'd probably want to take that air from the top and push it down, right? Am I right there? And then in the summertime, when you got the air on, right, you'd probably want to suck the colder air up, right?
That's what I thought it was, but
I mean,
I feel like when our earlier show, they had it switched around. But that's what I always thought too. You want to push your warm air down during the winter months because hot air rises, and then you want to pull the cold air up because cold air is sinking low and it's sitting at the bottom of the room. But
all right, so
we're gonna have to ask our researcher, Evan.
I'm looking at the list right now, and it says right here this is probably the easiest item on the whole list, and apparently it is not for us three. It's very tough. So it says during the summer you want your fans to blow down and cool the room, but in the winter they should turn the opposite direction to move air upwards. So just the opposite of what we were saying. So in the summertime, your fan should blow down to cool the room. In the wintertime, it should change the direction. They should suck the air up. Okay. Now we got to the bottom of that.
We know.
So I was doing it wrong for sure. Because this is the second source that had this tip in. So yeah.
Okay, good. Problem
I'll get
solved.
it right this time.
We got it.
Problem solved. Yeah.
We got it. All right, number 2 on the list here: clean and inspect your heating system and fireplace. I recently signed up for just a service, $25 a month, and it gives me a membership to an HVAC company. I get a free fall tune-up, right? So they'll do some stuff with my air conditioner, get that ready for the winter. They'll go through my furnace, tune that thing up. They'll go through all the mechanicals basically in my house, and then I get discounts on if something needs repaired or if something needs to be replaced, whatever, blah blah blah, right? So I have this service that comes out. I think it's super handy because they'll check your water heater, they'll check all that stuff. So I have them coming out here actually in 2 days, this Friday, to come and do all that stuff there. But my fireplace, that's one thing that I don't know if I've ever had inspected. You guys,
Mike, do you got
your
a gas
fireplaces?
or a wood?
No.
Gas
gas?
fireplace.
No, for the gas. But I would like to comment on your HVAC setup. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice that it's monthly, because I mean you're talking $300 for the whole year. But it's nice to think that you only have to fork up $25 per month instead of the the $150 bill in the spring and the $150 bill in the fall. So
Yeah.
that seems like it's a good deal.
And the other cool thing too, like I said, like when you sign up for this, now they give you discounts on stuff. I get 20% off all parts needed to replace, and I get like 10% off labor or something like that if something goes down, they need to come out and fix something. So I thought it was a pretty good deal too. And you just set it and forget it. They reach out and you don't have to remind them to, hey, we got to come out and inspect my stuff in the spring. They reach out to you and say, hey, it's time for your spring inspection. What do you have open in the next 2 weeks? And they just keep you on the schedule, and it works out pretty slick.
Yep.
Love it.
All right. That was number 2 on the list here of 10 fall home maintenance tips. Number 3, again, something I've probably never done. Check your roof. So that's the last thing you want in the middle of winter is a leak. So remove moss and from shaded areas, clear debris from the corners, look for damage on your shingles, all that fun stuff there. You guys check
Definitely.
your roof?
I was
not-
up on my
I'm-
roof.
You got on your roof, Jason?
I did. I was up there about a month ago. I was trying to cut a giant tree branch down. So it appeared
good.
that the roof was good.
Didn't cave in, so that's good. You're still around, so obviously it held. So that's good there. All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory there. Let's go to number 4 here. Number 4, clean gutters. Get up there and clean your gutters, and you're probably going to have to do it more than once in the fall because you're going to have tons of leaves and stuff blowing around. You're going to clean it out the first time. Guaranteed there's going to be more stuff that gets up there, right? So you might have to do it a good 2-3 times each fall.
Yeah, Mike, with the gutters, unfortunately, the one downfall for the home that I own is we just don't really have a lot of mature trees. It was in a newer development, so the trees that have been, planted are fairly small, and even the ones that are of decent size that got brought in with like a spade truck, they're still just not big enough to really clog the gutters. But yeah, I mean, I just as a realtor and seeing these homes, even with like the leaf guards, if you're in an area, which I know Evan can contest to this, we live in this in that area where damage to your shingles can happen, and all those little granules can pile up in your gutters, and that's kind of the start of it, right? Like when they're clean, fresh installed, it's smooth metal. Everything is able to go downhill how it's installed and how it's proposed to do, and right out the chute. But when you start getting some debris, some dirt pile up in there, then that's when you start kind of getting some leaves get caught up. Or I love that house that you show and you see little trees growing out of the gutters.
Yeah, right?
It's like, yeah, they haven't been checked in a while.
Yeah, your gutters should not be used as planters. You shouldn't have, flowers and such growing up out of them.
Ooh, are those window planters, roof planters?
I mean,
No, those are gutters.
Now, watering those plants in those areas would be very easy, right? You don't have to do anything because it's a self-watering deal. So I get the ease of it, right? But it's not recommended. Not recommended to be having flowers and plants up there. Another tip too, they say that outspouts, right? So you got your downspouts coming, bringing the water down, but you got to also get it away from the house. Make sure your downspout extenders are attached, right? So put a little screw in the top or something like that. Get them attached as wind and stuff like that comes up. Those things can blow around and detach on you.
Or kids and pets. I think that's kind of my excuse why they come undone. It's usually a pet ran into it or a child, most likely a child, ran into it and knocked those suckers out. So
yeah, our boys will grab them and use them for baseball bats.
Swords.
Yeah. Number 5. Number 5 fall home maintenance tip here. Turn off outside water and remove hoses. I'm guilty of this. I always remove the hoses. There's lots of times where I forget to turn the water off in the inside of the house, right at the shut off there in the utility room. Luckily, I think for us, we have what are those spouts that are the frost? I can't remember what they call them, but it's the spout that actually extends into the house more versus being closer to the outside wall so that the cold air doesn't get there and they don't freeze. So I think that saved me, to be honest with you. But I'm guilty of this. I'll take the hoses out, but I'll forget to turn that water off quite often.
Yeah, turning the water off. Same as you, Mike. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that I was. Sometimes these cold nights they sneak up on you, right? I mean, just last week we had a couple of days almost in the 90s. So you're just we're nowhere near that. And then literally in 2 weeks, we could easily get a little cold front drop in from the north and dip into those high 20s. And it's an easy thing to forget. But I'm glad you're talking about this today in the beginning of October because, like here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, very little of our trees are even starting to turn colors. And so you're just I got plenty of time. To do this. But it's it comes quick,
Right.
So it definitely pays to start working on these things right away.
Yeah. Set a calendar reminder, if it's going to be a little bit while you're thinking about it, set a calendar reminder, just to go out there and turn that or go downstairs and turn that water off from the main shut off there.
Hold on. I was looking at the list. A lot of homes have sprinkler systems, right? And so this kind of same territory. Where if you have a system that needs to be winterized, make sure you're getting that information and getting your sprinkler system taken care of, and so add that to that exterior water source list too.
Yeah, I would imagine that anyone who does water shutoffs for any sort of irrigation you have, they're busy, right? They're busy. They're probably putting in 10, 11, 12-hour days right now trying to stay on top of it. So the sooner you can get on the list, the better. Or call Jason.
Welcome back.
Or call Jason. This is what I would do. I would text Jason at our real estate hotline, 612-234-7585. Tell him that you're looking for someone to do your irrigation shut off, and he'll be right over there.
I got you covered. I got a guy.
Yeah. Perfect. Love it. All right, number 6. Number 6 on the list here for fall home maintenance tips. You got to check your attic and your crawl space. So they're saying you look for unwanted critters, cracks in the foundation, mold maybe that has snuck in there during the more humid months of the year, any sort of ducting that might have come undone, and things like that. And just a simple, head and shoulder inspection. Just get up there and look around. Maybe shine a flashlight up there a little bit just to see if you notice anything.
If you have small children, you can send them actually all the way up in there. Give them a little flashlight. They can go explore.
Yeah.
So that works good too.
Yep. What do you see up there, buddy?
Roll around in the insulation.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, my boys
may be soft now.
They're always asking, "Can I go up there? Can I climb up in there, Dad?" Always, once a month, they're trying to crawl up into the attic. So, but no, I'm not going to.
Here's your chance. Here's your chance, boys. You get one time of the year in the fall when we do the inspection up there. You guys can go up there. That's good stuff.
But hiring that roofer, Mike and Jason, hiring that roofer to take a check on your shingles, and I'm sure they'll go in the attic if you ask as well. So if you're not really looking to climb on roofs or through rafters, you can always lean on the professionals.
Yeah, we've got a roofing company that came in and did a presentation to our team about a month ago, and they're offering free roof inspections anytime, anywhere in the 13 county metro. So whether it's you think you got damage or you just want to know, they'll come out and do a free inspection, and I think it's great.
Love it. Love it. Number 7 on our list today. Put new batteries in smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, and then also check your fire extinguishers to make sure they're fully charged.
I need to get a fire extinguisher.
Yep. You don't have one? You got one in your house. You don't? Really?
I don't think so.
Marcus, you got one?
If I do, I have no idea where it is.
I have 2. I have
One
2. I
for
have
each
one in
level?
the garage, and I have one in the kitchen.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
One in the garage, one in the kitchen.
Evan?
Same as Marcus. I have one in the garage, one in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I better fix that problem.
The smoke detectors. This is something where I know a lot of cities offer this. If you reach out to your local fire department and request that they install smoke detectors, they'll do that. So I know a lot of cities offer that. It's a free thing offered to the public. Obviously, you're saving the city, thousands and thousands of dollars if you're able to prevent a house fire, through those smoke detectors. So I know the city that I live in, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, they'll do it for free. You just need to give them a call, and they'll get in there for you. So if that's something you may want to reach out to if you're on a budget right now and maybe have an older house and where the smoke detectors weren't required and X amount of rooms like building code is set up now. Maybe just reach out to your fire department and see if they can help you out.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's a great tip. Yeah, and I think carbon monoxide is you're supposed to have those coded. You guys have one, at least one on each level, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
Each level of your house. Yeah, and then the fire extinguishers thing that surprised me. So you got a fire extinguisher in your jet ski, but not in your house, Jason? That's what you're telling me.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? I do have
Right?
one in my jet ski. Yes. Yes.
Well, now I know now I know what I can get you for Christmas.
There you go.
Perfect. All right,
Park the jet ski in the garage.
That's right.
Done.
Then I'll
Done.
have one.
Love it. Number 8 on our list of fall home maintenance tips, look for drafts around windows and doors. So likely culprits, if you have drafts, would be cracked caulking, or weather stripping that's failing, something like that. So this is the time of year where you can still get out there and you can do exterior weather stripping. You can do exterior caulking. It's warm enough to where they'll set up and they'll form just fine. You wait too long on those, and that cold air, especially up in the north region where we're at, caulk does not like the cold like that. It's
No,
it's not going to set up right.
Like the cold. No.
So,
Doesn't like it. It's got to be above 55, I think, this is what it says.
55
Products. 55
Gotcha.
degrees. Yep.
Gotcha. Nice. All right. Number 9 on the list. Get your yard ready for the colder weather. So it says here, as the weather cools, the roots in your grass will grow deeper, which makes it a smart time to add fertilizer. Additionally, trim away dead limbs on trees, which Jason was doing, and ensure all vegetation, plants and shrubs and stuff are not touching any part of your house.
Yep. Got to trim them up.
That winter application, right? It's usually just a fertilizer. There isn't any kind of like a weed control or anything like that. So, I just had a company aerate my lawn here yesterday and today. So they were able to punch those 4-inch plugs out of the grass to get more air and nutrients into the soil and to help next year. So this is
you guys
definitely
do
the
that?
time.
Do that yearly or every couple of years or for the aeration?
Aerate. Depends on like how compact your soil is and or the amount of traffic you have. I have very limited traffic because kids are little, and so don't really host a lot of events at the house. So I mean, I could probably get away with it, once every 3-4 years probably, but I've heard people do it annually in the fall. Falls I think is ideal to do it. So.
Nice. Have you guys ever heard of those fertilizer spikes for trees?
Yeah.
Yes. Have you
I had
used them?
I had never heard of them before. My neighbor was pounding some stuff into the ground by his trees, and I walked over there and just talking. I'm like, "What the heck are you doing?" And he's like, "There's fertilizer spikes. You never heard of them?" I'm like, "No, I had no idea." So you pound them into the ground, roughly in the outside where the edge of the branches stop, so as the water drips down off the leaves and then the branches, these fertilizer spikes are right underneath that drip line, and then that water helps spread it around in the soil for the trees. And he's had trees that are like dying. You could see like one side of the tree is like dead for some reason, and he's put these spikes in there, and it's brought the tree back to life. So apparently they're pretty effective.
I'm gonna try that. I've got one specific tree that just doesn't seem to be growing at all. So fertilizer spikes.
Yeah, get those fertilizer spikes.
I've never used them, but I'm gonna get some.
Yeah, get some. And he was telling me like this is a great time of the year to do it. Because we'll get some moisture and stuff here in the fall a little bit, whatever. But we're not going to get these huge heavy rains where they're just gonna be gone right away. They're gonna last a little bit for a few months here. So
cool.
All right, what are we on here? Number 10. Last tip here for your fall home maintenance. You should be doing this fall. Inspect front entry, walkways, and your porch. So repair any uneven areas, screw down those loose deck boards, replace any cracked or broken concrete before it gets too cold to be able to do any of that type of work.
Yep, that's good stuff.
Yeah, the concrete's a good one, right? Especially if you might have like a trip hazard. Mm-hmm. That's going to be something that's going to be just a headache when you're trying to get the snow removed, whether you're rounding into it with the shovel or your snow blower. So I've seen quite a bit of concrete work get done for residential homes. Addressing these items right now. Seems to be a lot of homeowners are trying to jump on it before the winter comes.
Yep. Any other tips you guys have? Personal tips for fall home maintenance? I got one real quick.
Get on it right now. Well, I tell you what, if you do Christmas lights, if you hang Christmas lights, do it sooner rather than later, because when it's nice out, it's a lot easier. So.
Heck yeah. And I was going to say, everything's got a filter these days. Go in your maintenance room down there.
Yes.
You got to filter your furnace, your air exchanger, if you have a whole home humidifying system, that's got a water filter in there that you got to change out. So again, either sign up for a company and have them do that for you, or go through there and start swapping out all those filters. Great time to do it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely envious of people who got the mature trees, and so I think that's, if I remember correctly, that's like the one thing for trees is that pruning them in the fall is the time to do it. You would think that you wouldn't want to cut branches right for the winter, but that's like when you do want to do it. So I think. Yeah, that's what they recommend. So I mean, if you are fortunate enough to have some mature trees in your home on your property, try to start taking care of those, or reach out to an arborist and have them assist you with it.
Yep.
Beautiful. Love it, fellas. All right, that's our show for today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will be back next Wednesday, noon Central, with another live show. On behalf of Jason Walgrave and Marcus Walgrave, I'm Mike Overson with Luminate Home Loans. See you next week.